mean, you know, when you see a little blip on the end, you can understand it. Shorts are covering, but I don't see it any there. I didn't see it in oil today. We have not seen it in gold and silver today. We have in the shares, but those are different kind of people. And the professionals who trade shares just don't want to be long over the weekend. And that's why. If gold opens up $3 or $4 or higher on Monday, which I believe it will, then Agnico will be up 3 or 4 points on Monday. You know, if we have a solid day all day and say it closes up $8 or $10 on a day. You know, once these stocks get going, just like the numismatic coins, they go berserk. And, you know, it wasn't a few days ago, maybe a week ago, we were looking at Agnico at 49, and it was trading over 62 today. And it's broken through all the resistance. And technically, it's ready for 83.5. So we get anywhere near 1,000, that's where you're going to see it. And all the other stocks will move up accordingly. But anyway, it's good for us to tell you exactly what's going on in the market here. Because, you know, hold on, here we go. 160.16 up 482. That was the XAU. It just came by. And that means the HUI was probably up around 17 points on the day, which would put it over 400. But I don't have that close yet, and I won't get it until I get off the program. Anyway, go ahead, Melody, please.
I don't think it was hovering around, the HUI was hovering around 397.78.
Mm-hmm. Well, they did do profit taking for, I would say, for 2 hours before the close. But again, it's understandable. I mean, these guys who trade these things daily, they're in and out. Sometimes, you know, you people don't realize it, but traders, these are professionals now, they might trade a stock 40 or 50 times during the course of a day. I mean, you might have, let's take Agnico as an example, and say it was 60, and they buy there. It goes to 60 and 3/8, they sell. It goes back to a quarter, they buy again. I mean, that goes on all day. I mean, that's why the stock trades something in the order of 2 to 4 million shares a day. And that's a fairly thin stock, too. There's only 140 million shares outstanding. And that happens with numismatic coins, too, doesn't it, Melody?
Yes, it does.
You get some big hitters in there, and if they're dealers, especially,
well,
and they usually are.
It doesn't take a lot to move a market in these coins.
$100,000 maybe?
No. Well, it depends on which coin, but and it depends, you know, of course, in the market. But I mean, you know, if you have a soft market, of course, it's going to take a little bit more. But when things are heated, it doesn't. I mean, you can move the price in a coin with probably, you know, if it was concentrated in one coin over a small period of time, if you went in all at once, no, it wouldn't do anything because you probably couldn't get the product to deliver. But if you separated that $1 million out over, you know, a couple weeks' time, you could move that coin price very significantly. Very significantly with $1 million.
Well, that's important because, you know, once we break out over 1,035, you know, where are we going? Nobody knows. But, you know, you got to look at the spike, the right-hand shoulder and the reverse head and shoulders, and it'll give you an idea. But usually you get a minimum of a 35% gain, which would put you $1,350 to $1,400 dollars per ounce. I mean, that is a nominal technical gain. You could get 50%. If you have dreadful events, you might even get a doubling, but that's unusual. Very unusual. What you probably will get is 35 to 50%, just like we just saw in copper. Copper moved from 135 to 222. And I put out an alert to sell copper and rebuy 170 to 190. Well, unfortunately, it didn't get there. I did pick the top, but I'm still waiting for 190, let's say. And it did trade at 198, and it was 202 this morning. But you can have a technical move, particularly on a reverse head and shoulders. It's very easy to get 50% on a move. And don't forget, I've been doing this for 50 years. So I know what I'm talking about. I see lots of moves in markets. So we could be looking at 1,500. And for those of you who just bought recently at 850, I mean, gee, that's almost 100% on a bullion coin. A numismatic coin, we got to be talking 130 or 40 or 50%. And the same with shares. So, I had emails from people today saying, oh, gee, I'm making so much money. What do I do? And I write back and say, close your eyes, don't breathe, and don't talk, and you'll die rich. Because that's where we're going. We're going a long way with this. And we've been dead right all along. As a matter of fact, I was telling Melody before the program, and you and she are well aware that I'm doing, I did about 35 programs this week. And some of them are 15 and 30 minutes on Fox and ABC and NBC radio, and other kinds of programs as well. Programs I didn't even know existed. And some of them are quite good, actually, especially the Christian programs. And so we've been contacted by, is it Clear Channel? I don't know. One of those companies. They wanted me to go on television with Michael Savage, and I told them I wouldn't go on TV. I'm not going to get in the plane and go and do that, and you all know why. But evidently they're considering radio, so it ought to be quite interesting. In fact, I talked to my people today, and so we'll see what happens. Shall I get into these
well, we have about
questions?
We have about 3 minutes. Are they quick answers?
Well, the first one is from Mariana, and asked me if I know Paul Van Eden, and yes, I do. And she said he was on BNN, which is in Canada, this morning. And he said gold was overvalued by $150. And he said that on Financial Lifeline a while back as well. And, of course, he's been wrong. And Paul's been wrong about everything on gold. And Paul was a stockbroker before, and it didn't work out all that well for him, so he became a newsletter writer. And he's been anti-gold for a long time. Asked me if I follow potash, and I do not. And I don't know anything about it. And all of these people who have been anti-gold, saying it's going to go down, again, have been wrong for about the 50th time. We're right, they're wrong. I think the break's coming up.
Yeah, as I said the other day or last night on Dr. Stan's program, people have a tendency to follow people who tell that gold's going down. And they seem to always want to confirm that it is instead of it rising.
Well, you can tell Paul Van Eden and the others that they should make up your losses.
We'll be back after these